Hello, hello. I think it's working. Oh my God, it worked. Oh, I was so nervous because Facebook was not letting me do lives from my computer for a while, for a minute. So I'm excited. The technology has joined us today. That is the power of magnetism. Welcome, everybody, to the Brand Alchemy free workshop. I'm so excited to be here with you guys today. Gonna let the algorithm do its thing. Make sure I'm live in the right group. There we go. And I'm just gonna pull this up on my phone so that I can see your questions as we go through this together. There we go. And we are live. All right. Welcome. So, on today's workshop, on this conversation today, is going to be a discussion, especially for those of you guys who are business owners, visionaries, founders. If you're an artist, this applies to you. If you have a job or career, even though the conversation today is going to be mostly geared towards entrepreneurs, just trying to get my phone to sit there. If you have a job, the concepts in today's conversation are still going to help you to attract better prospects and opportunities. But today is really dedicated for those of you guys who are in a business, whether you're trying to make a pivot or you're struggling with your growth, you're feeling frustrated with the growth that you're currently experiencing. And we're going to talk about how to really create a magnetic brand so effortlessly attracting leads and clients. And at the end of today's workshop, I'm going to extend an invitation to you to join me inside of October's 8-week immersion called Brand Alchemy, where we're going to go so much deeper into the concepts discussed today. So, if you are watching, let me know. Say hello. If you're watching the replay, let me know. Say replay so that I can get a feel of where everyone is watching this from. And also, I want to extend a question to you guys. And that is, what is it that you hope or desire from your business? So hopefully everyone can hear me, by the way. Let me just check there we go. Hey, what's up? Okay, I can't see it on here, but I can see it here. Oh my God, Zarar! Long time. Okay, let me put this here so I can see your actual questions so I'm not looking away. Philip, hello. Fraser, hello. Hello, everybody. It's so great to be here with you guys today. So let me ask you this. For those of you guys who have a business or you're looking to create one or pivot into one, what is it that you desire from your business? As in, why are you investing your time, your focus, your energy into this business? What is the end game for you for having a business? I promise I'm going somewhere with this. This is going to be a really pivotal part of that conversation today. Now, in order for me to explain brand magnetism and how I came to understand these concepts that I'm going to be sharing with you guys today, and I'm going to share with you guys a really awesome tip at the end of this workshop today to begin to actually integrate this immediately into your business. But before we go into that big, juicy, meaty stuff, I want to first give you a bit of a background in terms of how I came to understand these concepts. So I've been in business for 10 years. I started my business my first business when I was around 28 years old. And I've had 6 businesses in the last 10 years. 3 of those have been complete flops, faceplant, and 3 of those have ended up being 7 and 8 figure companies. So 3 were very successful and 3 of them were just write-offs completely. So I have a lot of experience in terms of trying to launch businesses, growing them, And this is what I'm bringing to the table today in this conversation is this experience that I've come to observe through the years. Now, before I started my first business, I studied business and marketing at university for 4 years. I actually wanted to get a marketing job. I had no idea that I would go off and start my own business. I wanted to become a marketer for a company. That's what I dreamed for myself. And you have to study business in university to major in marketing. So I learned a lot about branding at university. And I was taught things like the SWOT analysis, competitor, market research, how to get prospects and leads to buy your stuff, the colors that you're using, the psychology of the colors of your websites and the buttons that you're using, all of these things. And this became really my first introduction to branding. And what I understood from those 4 years at university was that branding was really about how pretty your Instagram feed is, your logo, your website, how attractive and cohesive everything is. So the aesthetics, essentially. And when I started my first business, which was a travel app that I really believed in my mind was gonna like blow up and make me billions of dollars, it did not. I was a complete perfectionist about this side of my business. I I didn't have much money at the time, but I invested a lot of money into, so I think it was like 99 Designs or Fiverr or something like that, for a contractor to design the logo, the brand colors, and we put so much effort into this cohesive aesthetic facade for the business. And that business really face planted really hard. It made 20 bucks after I'd invested like 30, $40,000 in it. So it was a massive failure on paper. Quote unquote, because it led me into the world of social media and Facebook. So it wasn't really a failure. There's no such thing as failures, by the way, guys. They're just stepping stones, they're just pivots, they're just lessons, learning curves. And when I started my second business, which was a freelancing business in social media, I was helping people get more Facebook followers. That was the big thing back then. Everybody wanted more followers, more likes. That was the huge thing. I also brought in this kind of like perfectionist side where I dawdled so much on the aesthetics of this business, the logo, the branding, everything had to look so, so nice. And I spent 3 years spinning my wheels in the same spot, essentially, in those early years of my agency. It was like a feast to famine cycle. It wasn't really growing. Even though I had a pretty website, I had everything that technically should attract people, prospects to buy my stuff. It just wasn't working. And after about 3 years of this, I will say the perfectionist in me got ground down to almost nothing. I started to throw the textbooks on branding out the window. At that time, I hired my first business coach who introduced me to mindset. And so that was when I started to really work at a different level in my business, and everything shifted really, really quickly. Now, that company, and I ended up creating another business as a side of that where I went into coaching agency owners and Facebook marketers. And my agency and that second company ended up hitting millions of dollars within a short amount of time. So the coaching business made $20 million in a space of 3 years, and my agency became a seven-figure company. Once I started to work at a different level in those businesses. Now, what's shocking about that and why I'm sharing this with you is, as I mentioned, I kind of started to give up on the whole branding, things looking pretty, I was really a perfectionist, which might be shocking for some of you guys to hear this, because if you've been around my world for some time, you'll know that that's not at all how I operate now. I whip things up. Things go out with spelling mistakes often. When I published Money Magic, I did a misprint twice. So I'm very ad hoc. I move very fast now. There's almost no perfectionism in how I create now. So it was a very different way to create in my business. But what's hilarious about all this is that the logos were shocking. I mean, for those of you guys who were with me during that time, it was one of them was called FATC, for Facebook ads that convert. And I remember Australians that would work with us would always pronounce it, what's fat C? That's what they would say, like, what is fat C? And it became this standing joke in the company. And the logo, I designed that in Word. So it was literally just a normal type font that I made up in Word. And the second one was called the Academy. That was the one where I was working with agency owners. It was called the Bloody Academy, guys. It was not a very creative brand name or logo. And again, that logo was made in Word with a normal type font. The funnels were even more shocking than the logo themselves. I often would get people asking me, sometimes in podcast interviews, how are you making this money? Because your funnel is so basic as fuck. The design was not cohesive. It was just often like a blank white page, just whipped up. A lot of the times there was broken links. There were 404 errors, lots of spelling mistakes. I was just whipping things up and go, 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 go. And so the companies that made me millions of dollars, they were not following any of the things that I had learned in university around branding and how to attract prospects and leads into your business. It was almost counter to what I had learned. They were not aesthetically beautiful at all on paper. It was shocking branding, actually. And I can admit this, and I did admit it even then. It was just baffling how this was working. And the money was coming in so fast, I could barely even keep up with it. We had leads and clients left and right, clients singing our praises from the top of mountains, people finding us in the most unusual of ways. It was really, really rapid growth that just didn't make sense on paper. You know, when you enter the business space and you even study this stuff, they tell you how you have to just put your head down and grind for like 7-8 years because it's going to take that long before you even start to get traction. And you got to post thousands of pieces of content and videos and just be really, really patient and you know. But what was achieved in that company was really, it didn't make any sense. It defied logic. It defied the mathematics of growth. It just accelerated and accelerated and accelerated. And when I launched the flow protocols, so I ended up walking away from those companies in 2020, as many of you guys know, and sold those businesses. And when I found that I was ready to put myself back out there in 2021, I launched the flow protocols. And I spent a large part of that initial year in the flow protocols trying to decipher what it was that I had done that had led to such a fast growth in the last company. I was, you know, I talk about this actually in Money Magic, how I was like trying, almost comparing myself, which led to falling out of gratitude. So it was actually distending me from what I want, but that's a conversation for another time. But even though that the flow protocols did pretty well in its first year, it was a brand new business and it had, you know, it had pretty decent revenues. I knew that I was capable of hitting multiple six-figure months because I'd done it before. I had muscle memory of it, but I was like, what was it? What was it? Was it that I had a sales team? Was it my website? Was it my logo? And I would start to list these things out, and I quickly realized, well, it's definitely not the fucking logo. It's definitely not the website. It's definitely not the branding, the aesthetics, the cohesiveness of it. That business grew despite the bad logo, despite the weird ass landing pages and broken links and spelling mistakes and all the things that they tell you are necessary to build a really powerful brand. And what I've come to learn through all of this, of trying to decipher these things, and my last company, and what I learned in university, is that the sauce, essentially the secret sauce that had led to such a rapid growth and has now allowed me to replicate this inside of the flow protocols, was the energy in which I showed up. So this conversation today about brand magnetism is really about a conversation of the energetics of your business and your brand. When I had the last company, I was so excited to talk about Facebook ads. I loved it. It was my jam. I breathed it night and day. I just loved it. I loved it. I loved it. I had deep purpose, deep clarity. Even though I never did a business plan, I didn't know where I would be in a year from now. I pivoted really quickly often. I was very, very energetically, I showed up with a lot of this like delicious fulfillment and purpose and clarity. And that was what had created the rapid growths that I experienced in my business. Now, here's how this works, because this sounds nice on paper, like the energy, okay, great, but how does this practically play out, and why is this so important? Well, first of all, let me just explain to you the difference that happens once you start to understand that magnetism is created first at the level of the energetics. Literally, by the way, magnetism, scientifically, in nature, is created when there's an electrical charge that runs through a substance. And this happens because atoms have electrons, and everything that you see in our reality is made up of atoms. So are you. Every cell in your body contains trillions of atoms. And around atoms are these electrons that spin. And when they spin in an opposite direction, there's low magnetism. And when they spin in the same direction, you have high magnetism. And magnetism can also be created when an electrical current is run through a substance. So quite literally, the conversation of magnetism, scientifically, if you look in nature, it is a conversation about energy. That's what it is. And when you start to work at that level in your business, when you start to address that part first, instead of what we're taught in entrepreneurial circles or at school or at university, we're taught, it's the how, the aesthetics, the cohesiveness, it's the strategies, the tactics that you use. That is really like the surface level how. I never once encountered a conversation about alignment or energetics when I studied at university. That word alignment never came up once. And by the way, I've never used any of those, SWOT analysis or market research, competitor analysis. I've never used that once. I've never had a business plan once in any of my businesses. So I don't regret attending university because I made a lot of great friends, but they did, I think they do put people off on the wrong road a lot of the times, and set them up for a lot of frustration and feeling like you're doing everything in your business. You're posting, things look pretty, you've got the website, you've got the messaging that's cohesive, the copy, you're saying all the right things, but it's not working. That is happening because you're not working at the energetic level where magnetism is always created in business, in nature, in your own body, everywhere. Planet Earth. This is how magnetism is created through the energetics. And when you start to work at that level, what you experience is something so different than the traditional route of focusing on the strategies, the surface level tactics, the how. You experience people finding you without you even looking for people. They just land in my DMs. They're like, hey, I just came across your stuff. Hey, a lot of the people that sign up to my workshops are very, very fresh to my world. And they just found me and they're like, I don't understand this guy. I was literally on a call last week, a one-on-one, and she said to me, like, I just came across something of yours and I was like, I don't even know really if I'm into this stuff, but I just felt really pulled to come in and join this program. I don't know why. That is what happens when you work at the energetic level. Instead of trying to constantly force and push and try to convince people to work with you, people are magnetized to you. They don't understand why, but they want to be in your world. They want to be around you. And that is what creates that kind of growth that just doesn't make sense on paper. If you're striving for that kind of growth, that accelerated where, within a month, it's like poof, fast, fast, fast. And people are like, how did you do that? And you're like, that needs to be done at the energetic level. It's never going to happen until you get that layer in, because the focusing on the strategies, the how, the color of your buttons, that's going to take you a lot of time and a lot of grind. And actually, that time and grind, really what that does is it helps you to build the energetics. So you develop it over time, but you get to be intentional about that right here, right now. So how does this actually work? What is, because this is a nice sounding concept, the energetics of your business, how you show up. So let me ask you this. What is the function of your business? What is the purpose of your business? Let me see who's on it here. Oh, thank you, Rose. Love Money Magic. Hey, David, James. I'm actually out for lunch, Tom. Who knows what the purpose of your business is? What is the sole function of your business? I can see your comments. Yes. The sauce sources energy. Yes. Does anybody know? I'll give it a second. I think it's delayed. My little vagina mug. There you go. Money is, what is the sole function of your business? Is it to make money? This is going to change your life if you think it's to make money, to relieve their stress and worry. I want to make a difference, okay? I'm a virtual assistant, however, doing massage, which has taken off. Yes, girl. Awesome. Okay, the sole function of a business. This is why I was asking you at the beginning of this call, like, what do you desire from your business? Why did you start your business? And if you didn't answer me, tell me now in the comments, because I will be able to work with your comments and give you guidance accordingly. Sorry, my ex-husband's calling me. There we go. To be happy making money. Okay. The sole function of a business is to engage in a value exchange. That's it. That's the only function of a business, is to engage in a value exchange. It's the only function of your business, to create value. Yes? Value is, so money is value. Money is a representation of value. There's lots of ways to represent value. Money is the most common and acceptable form of exchange of value, especially between large groups of people and strangers. So money really represents value, and the sole function of your business is to create value and engage in a value exchange. Now, where most people really misunderstand or get things really off here, or the assumption here, the common assumption here is what I'm trying to say, is that most people think that that value exchange is between your business, your business, and customers and clients, right? An exchange. Well, that exchange must be with customers and clients. It's not. Let me put it this way, okay? Your business is one of the most prominent relationships that you're involved with in your life. Yes or no? Would you say that's a fair statement, that your business consumes a lot of your focus, a lot of your time, and a lot of your energy? For some of you guys, you probably spend more time in your business than you do with your kids or spouse. Some of you guys are working 8, 12 hours a day. You're in your business more than you are with your kids, more than you are with your partner. Would you say that's a fair statement? It is a prominent relationship in your life. It is a massive dynamic of your life. It is a huge expression and extension of your energy, simply because it takes so much focus. Where focus goes, energy flows, right? And if you're spending 8, 10 hours per day, even if you're just spending 5, 6 hours in your business per day, that's a huge chunk of your focus every single day that you're spending in this relationship on your business. So because of that, it's a massive extension and expression of your own energy. Would you agree with this? Some businesses are even more time consuming and take up even more of your focus than a newborn baby. And when things feel pressured or stressful or strained or difficult or frustrating, when this dynamic that is listen, it's probably, for most of you guys on here, it's probably the second most important relationship that you have in your life, second to the one that you have with yourself. You obviously spend the most time with yourself every day. But I'm going to go out on a limb and say that most of you guys listening probably spend more time with your business next to yourself, right? It's probably the second relationship that you're giving the most energy and focus to in your life. And even if it's a job or career, that applies too. You got a job, you're spending 40 hours a week in that job. That consumes a huge amount of your focus and attention. So it's the second most focus-intensive relationship that you have in your life. Would you say this is fair? Yes. So all of us can agree on this, right? So it is a huge extension and expression of your own energy. And most of you guys listening to this, you're founder-based businesses, meaning you maybe have a small team, or it's just you and your business. And your business, therefore, reflects energetically you. It is a reflection, a mirror of you. And it is a crucial dynamic of your life. Now, we assume that the function of a business is to create and exchange value for customers and clients. But it's not. The function of your business is to create and exchange value with you. because you are the one that is the expression of this business. So let me phrase this a different way so that it really lands, because this is so important. Most of us see our business as a vessel to make money or to create more time freedom. Those are usually the two big desires, the reasons that people, when I ask people, why do you have a business? They say, I want more money and I want more time. Can you guys relate with that? It's okay. You don't have to feel bad if you're like, oh yeah, that's what I say. But this is gonna like blow your mind away, okay? What we're gonna share in today's conversation. Most people, most entrepreneurs, that's how they see their business, is as a way, a mechanism to create more money and as a mechanism to create more time for themselves, time freedom in their lives. And so when we show up in our business with this point of outcome, desired outcome, more money, more time, all our behaviors, all our actions, our point of creation matches that desired outcome. We show up to make money, to make more sales, to land more clients and leads. We show up trying to pry back more time, trying to automate things, trying to free ourselves from the grind. And our behaviors and actions, the things we say, the things we put out, the energy that we show up in our business comes and stems from this point of creation. But your business is not here to create money. That's a huge misconception, and that will send you off the complete wrong track. And you're going to get really frustrated by your growth. It's not here to create more time. First of all, with the money, you only want the money because you think that having more money is going to expand a sense in well-being in yourself. Yes or yes? I'm not going to give you a no. You want $100,000 revenues, 7 figures. You want 30 people to join your program or new offer that you're launching. You don't really care about those things. Your soul didn't come into this planet to say, I'm going to get 30 people in my program. I'm going to make $100,000. It doesn't care about that. You want those things because you think that making 7 figures or enrolling 30 people into your offer or getting new clients is going to bring about a sense of confidence, well-being, peace of mind, abundance, pride, maybe, doesn't matter. Play, flow, doesn't matter. That's what you ultimately want. And likewise, let me say something radical here. With the time thing, you don't want more fucking time, guys. That is a huge illusion. And it sends you off the wrong path when you're chasing that. Let me tell you something. When I walked away from my last companies, I had so much time. I was essentially in a mini retirement. I didn't have a business. I didn't have a job. I had a lot of time. You want to hear something crazy? It was great for about 3-4 months. I really enjoyed it. Nice little rest and recovery. And then what do you think happened? I started to feel it was getting more difficult for me to transmute emotional states of well-being. I started to get itchy feet. I started to get bored. You see this happening with people that retire. They work their whole lives. They work 60, 70 years, and then they retire and they go into apathy. We're not supposed to sit around forever and do nothing. Yes, it's nice to have a month or 2 or 3, or if you want to take a year off, but I promise you, after a little bit of time, you're going to get bored as fuck. You don't want more time. You want the time because you want to do what you want to do. That's what you really want. It's not the time. You want to do what you really want to do. You want the time so that you can be with your kids. You want the time so that you can create what you want to create. You want the time so you can go do yoga 3 times a day or whatever. Doesn't matter. You don't really want just time to just sit there and do nothing and watch TV forever. You will fall into apathy when that happens because we're here to create. We're creators. That's why we have this beautiful prefrontal cortex. And if you just are sitting there doing nothing for years, the same thing that happens to people that retire is gonna happen to you. That's why retired people do gardening and they take up hobbies, because they can't just sit there with time. It's boring. It's not what you actually want. So these 2 big reasons that we show up in our business and that we engage with clients and customers and how we create money and time, that's what I want. That's what most entrepreneurs and business owners do, or creatives. They see their business as a vessel to create time, and they see their business as a vessel to create money. But as we just said, your business is a mirror of you. It's an extension and expression of you. It mirrors you. It reflects you. So if you really want the time so that you can create the things you want to create and do the things you want to do, and you really want more money because you want to feel more confident and you want to, feel abundant and have peace of mind, but then you're waiting on your business to be the one to create those things for you, what you're really doing is creating conditions over your ability to achieve what you ultimately desire. It's not the money, it's not the time. It's the creative freedom. It's the ability to pursue the flow, the play, the gratitude, the confidence, the peace of mind, the fulfillment, the clarity. That's what you really want. And most of us, we are engaged in this war with a shadow, essentially, because our business is really like a shadow of ourselves. We're like, my business needs to bring this in so that I can feel this and have this and achieve these things. And we're waiting a really fucking long time. And it doesn't matter what color buttons we use, how pretty our website is. We could be posting every day on social media, following all the step-by-step that the gurus are telling us about how to format reels and how to go viral, and it won't work. Why? Because so long as we treat our business as a vessel to create money or time, we create conditions over those greens that we ultimately seek for ourselves. Which means energetically, you're not, the value is not being created, right? Value, everything we buy, everything we barter, everything we trade is because we're trying to feel a little bit better. Value is a green. It's an expansion of greens. You're not in the business of selling things or coaching offers or products or massages. That's not what you're selling. You're selling energy. You're selling an expansion of a green. That's why people buy. Why do they want a massage? They want to feel relaxed, right? They want to soothe the little voices in their heads. That's what you're selling. You're not selling a bloody massage. And so the value exchange with clients between your business and clients is really a value exchange between you and clients and customers. It's not between your business and clients, it's between you and your customers and clients. And when you have conditions over your own greens, you're not bringing much value to that exchange. This is why the sole function of your business is to create value with you, to exchange value with you, to engage in a value exchange with you, so that there's a lot of value that you bring to that value exchange between customers and clients. If you are trying to sell abundance to people, or confidence or peace of mind, let's say you're an agency owner. When people hire agencies, those are usually the greens that they're after. Confidence. I want to make sure, peace of mind. I want to make sure this is taken care of. Abundance, right? I want to make more sales, right? Those are usually the greens that they want. If that's what you're selling to customers, if that's the energy that you're transacting with customers, and it's not a transaction, by the way, it's a transformation. If that's the energy you're helping to create a transformation for in your customers, but you yourself have conditions over your ability to have peace of mind, abundance, and confidence, which is ultimately always what happens when we treat our business as a vessel to make money or create time. We create conditions. That's always what happens, because you're putting those greens on an external thing outside of you. My bank account, how many clients I get in. If I get more sales in, if I get more clients in, then I'll feel really confident and secure and abundant, and then I'll be able to do the things that I want to do. That's a condition, and that's a condition external to you. And the reason that never works, not long-term anyways, it could work for a short amount of time, but for those of you guys who have obtained success before and you realized, fuck, I don't feel any more confident, I'm still stressed out. Why does that happen? You think all this money is going to solve that, and it doesn't. That happens because those were external conditions. And what usually tends to happen is that everything in this reality is in constant motion, constant flux. It's always changing. So when you place your sense of ability to alchemize those greens within yourself on external conditions, ultimately what happens is the moment those external conditions change, your bank account goes down, a client cancels on you, you're depleted of confidence. You don't have peace of mind anymore. You don't have abundance anymore. So the treating our business as a vessel to make money or to make time for us, it doesn't work. It doesn't work. And you could, and potentially you may end up making money or having time, but what you will find, so long as you operate that way, is that it will be short-lived, or at the very least, it's still not going to give you the greens that you desired, because no external thing can ever do that long-term sustainably for you. That is an alchemy that only you are sovereign to, and actually it's the only thing you're sovereign to in this reality. You can't control other people. You can't control the economy. You can't control the government, politicians. But you can 100% control your thoughts and your emotions. Is it easy? No, it takes work. But it's the only thing you have true sovereignty over. And so it's a very subtle shift, changing the way we see and view our business and how we show up in it. From this thing is here to make me money and create time for me, to this thing is here solely to help me alchemize greens. That is the sole function of your business, to create value for you. Because once you are alchemizing those greens, you bring a lot of value to that value exchange. You become magnetic. You could have horrible landing pages, horrible logos, shocking Instagram feed, not even post on social media, and things will still work. 3 months ago, I shared, I think this was in June, I shared inside of the private coven how I had had a breakup with my partner of 3 years, and I stopped posting on social media for a whole month. I wasn't promoting a single thing, and my revenues, despite this, grew 120%. Zero posting on social media. Zero promotion of any new offers. I still don't even understand it. I'm like, I don't even understand. Where did this money come from? I wasn't doing anything. I was like doing the counter to what people say. You gotta hustle, show up, post consistently. I wasn't doing that. And it was growing. Why? Because I focused on alchemizing. There was a 2-week period, not gonna lie, where I was like deeply depressed, feeling sorry for myself. Things didn't grow then. But I caught myself. I was like, okay, Kat, you got this. Took me a couple weeks, but I got there. Had to grieve. And I focused on myself, on my well-being, on just allowing myself to enjoy a moment of rest and recovery, to find myself, to alchemize those greens. And then it was like sales, sales, sales. I wasn't posting. I wasn't doing any podcast episodes. It didn't make fucking sense. It still doesn't make fucking sense. That's what happens when you work at the energetic level. It won't make sense. People are going to ask you for your strategy and you'll be like, eh. And so you show up in your business not because you're trying to make a transaction or get a new client or a new lead or get people to engage or like the stuff that you're posting. You show up because it feels fucking good to show up, to do what you do. For many of you guys, this is going to mean you're going to have to radically shift the way you engage the divine masculine in your business. Because a lot of you guys are doing things in your business for the money to create more time. And you don't actually like what you're doing. You're doing it because you feel an obligation to it. You feel like your rational mind is telling you that's what you need to do. This is what's working for other people. A lot of you guys are modeling your business after business models that are just not for you. I fell into this trap too. And you're forcing yourself to do things that actually deplete you of energy. They don't energize you. They don't connect you to your greens. They do the opposite. And then you have diminished that value exchange with customers and clients. And then you're wondering why it feels so hard. Why people aren't buying. You're even saying all the most beautiful things. The copy is amazing. The landing pages are spiff. You're spending ad money. It's not working. Why? Because the energy that you're bringing to that exchange has been depleted. Once your energy, the alchemy of your own greens is a priority of your business, things become magnetic, because that's how magnetism works. It's a current, an electrical charge that you run through a substance. And humans create electrical charges chemically through our emotions. That's what our cells do through sodium, potassium, the ions in our body. That's why when you drink too much water, people that take MDMA or drugs, it's very dangerous to drink too much water because you deplete these ions that create these electrical charges within our body through chemicals. We create electrical charges in our body through chemically. And that is through our emotions, which is obviously the byproduct of thoughts and perspectives that we hold. And so when we treat our business as a vessel to make money or to create time for us, we actually disconnect ourselves from that. We deplete the electrical charge. We devalue that value exchange. And we might be saying all the nice, right things. Like we might have the same sales script that we've been using successfully for a while, and then it just doesn't work. And people are like, I don't know why. It's just not my vibe. Because people are buying to expand greens in themselves. You're selling energy, guys. You're selling value, which is an expansion in energy, an expansion of a green. You're not selling a product, a service, a coaching or massage or thing like that. That's not what you're selling. You're selling energy. And if the energy is depleted in that value exchange, people are going to pick up on it. You could have the prettiest logo, the prettiest brand, the most cohesive Instagram feed, posting consistently every fucking day, launching your podcast episodes all the time, and it won't work because we're vibrational beings. We pick up on this stuff. We won't know why. We'll just be like, I don't know, there's something here. On the flip side, you work at the energetic level. You treat your business as a mechanism that's there to help you foster those greens, to help you tap into that alchemy, create that alchemy within yourself. And the energy, the value expands, and people find you despite not posting on social media, despite low consistency. So how does that look like practically in terms of like day-to-day things in a business? Well, I'll just give you a quick example in my own business. So 2 years ago, I launched the Flow Protocols podcast. And I was like, I'm going to post, I think it was twice a month or once a month or something at the time, because that's what I heard was required to grow a podcast successfully. Get to 30 episodes, post consistently, twice a month. So I was like, okay, I got this. And it felt really good. I was really excited about this project initially, until I was like, I don't want to post right now. It feels like I'm forcing myself to have an episode. But I'm still going to do it. I'm still going to show up and do this thing. And then I realized I was showing up through obligation and I was depleting that value exchange. And I realized, oh my God, there's actually 0 point for me to post a podcast episode. So if you look at the Flow Protocols, it's been 2 years since I've had it. I'm on episode 40. But what you'll notice is that there were periods, like long periods, where I never uploaded an episode because I was showing up through obligation. It was depleting my energy. It wasn't enhancing it. So I didn't do it. Now, recently, it's felt very fulfilling for me to have these conversations and post these episodes. I've been posting weekly, and that's the cadence I'm on, and it feels super fulfilling to me. I'm really excited about the conversations that I share, and there's a lot of that delicious vibration. People listen to an episode, and it's not so much the words I'm saying, it's the energy that they're calibrating to. It's my energy, and that's why it's a powerful thing for people to listen to, because I'm prioritizing that. And that's the cadence for now until it no longer feels aligned to do that. And then I won't do it like that anymore. I approach social media the same way. I go through periods where I do feel really excited to share and post, and I do. And then I go through periods as well where I'm like, I don't want to be on social media right now. Every time I force myself to post on social media through a place of obligation or seeking validation, it doesn't work. It's like low engagement. Nothing works. And I'm sure you've experienced this yourself. It doesn't work. Why? Because the energy, the vibration isn't there. You're not bringing much to that value exchange, and people pick up on it. The algorithms pick up on it. First of all, it's not even the people. The algorithms won't even show your shit. Like Facebook TikTok, Instagram, those algorithms are so good at picking up energy. They reflect and mirror your energy like crazy. Working with Facebook ads is like crazy psycho shit because it's like it will mirror back to you your shadows like there's no tomorrow. When you're off kilter with your energy, you're going to get ad account shutdowns, like random shit happening. It reflects that shit like a perfect mirror, just like kids do. And so I just don't post if it doesn't feel good. I show up today on this training because this is energizing to me. It feels like a conversation that just like excites me. It expands me. And so you guys are sitting here and that's the vibration that you're getting, this calibration. It's not really my words so much or how you found this. It's like the energy behind it. And this is one of the key foundational pieces to building magnetic brand. It's understanding that energy is what we're selling. The value exchange is an exchange of an expansion of greens. It's an expansion in greens. That's what people want. When you treat your business as a vessel to make money or create time for yourself, you inadvertently disconnect yourself from your own ability to alchemize those greens within yourself because it's an outside condition. Your business, suddenly, if you treat it as a sole mechanism to help you foster those greens, everything changes. So how can you show up in your business today, this week, this month, pursuing the things that actually fill your cup, that actually feel really freaking great to do, that put you in states of flow, that put you in states of play, that put you in deep states of gratitude and appreciation? How can you use your business and get into a dance, a tango with it, so that it's not this frustrating thing that you feel so much pressure around and you're spinning your wheels and like feeling anxiety all the time? This is a massive dynamic of your life. If your business feels stressful to you right now, it's impacting every part of your life. There's no doubt about it. It's impacting the relationship with your kids, the relationship with yourself, the relationship with your spouse or partner, with your friends. On the flip side, when you're in a tango with your business and you see it as a dance partner that's there to help you swish into those greens and feel really great, this is also reflected in every part of your life because it's such a major dynamic. It's such a major relationship of your life. Arguably, probably the second biggest relationship that you have in your life, second to the one with yourself. It's a very subtle shift, but it changes everything. Changes everything. Now, I want to give you guys like an exercise to help integrate these concepts. There's a lot to talk about. There's like a lot more. Today is going to be a short 1-hour training. I'm going to wrap this up soon. And for those of you guys who want to explore these concepts, it resonates. You want to get in that tandem with your business. You want things to flow. You want that rapid growth that defies logic. There's a lot more to unravel around the energetics and how to build upon those. And I'm going to invite you guys to join me inside of October's workshop. But I want to give you guys an exercise to help you guys integrate and experience this magnetism in your business today, this week, so you can actually see, oh shit, this stuff actually fucking works. Oh my God, this is crazy. So one of the relationships of your business, the biggest one, is obviously the one between you and your business. And if you think about it, like if you're frustrated at your spouse or you feel unhappy or anxious in your personal relationships, like that relationship is not really going to thrive, right? It's the same thing with your business. So it's a huge relationship in your life, and when it feels stressful or anxiety ridden, or you're just like, why is everyone else growing and I'm not getting anywhere? When it feels like that, that is obviously not going to work very well either. Same thing as any other relationship. If you brought that kind of energy in it, the way to shift that is to shift the way that you show up in your business, the way you treat it, the way you see it. Instead of as a vessel to make money and to make time for you, it's actually there as a vessel to help you alchemize the greens. That's it. You alchemize those greens, you have a lot of value to bring to that value exchange with customers and clients, because the exchange is with you. Your business just mirrors you, right? It's not with your business, it's with you. And even if you have a company with hundreds of people, of employees on your team, the business will still be an energetic reflection of the people in charge and even the staff. So if the staff are really unhappy and there's high turnover rates, that company is probably not going to do very well, not long term, right? Not as well as it could. But especially if you're a founder-based business with a small team, or it's mainly you, your business is just a mirror of you. The value exchange is happening between you and the customers. The business is really there as a vessel for you to help to create value within yourself, to expand those greens so that there's a lot of that beautiful energy. Is this making sense? Yay, you love the podcast. I sell the post massage feelings. Exactly. And that's a really big hack, is like when you talk to clients and you're promoting your stuff, talk about the greens that they're going to experience, that they're going to expand. That's what people really want, right? And you will find once you talk at that level, you can charge so much more money. You're not worried about what your competitors are charging anymore, because you're not selling a massage, you're not selling a Facebook course, you're selling an expansion of energy. And your clients is not a transaction, it's a transformation. That's what you're helping to do through that value exchange. So it's a big shift in how we begin to operate. So here's a way to integrate this in your business, to try these concepts on for size. So understanding the clients that we want to work with is another facet of building upon this and the energetics and working at this level. So getting clarity and setting an intention around the type of clients that you desire to work with. How do they make payments? Do they pay in full? Do they pay on time? Do they purchase upsells? Are they trying to negotiate your prices down all the time, right? Getting clear around how they make payments. Getting clarity around how they feel when they work with you. Do they feel a sense of elation, expansion, confidence? Do they feel secure? What are the greens that they feel when they work with you? How do they celebrate working with you? Getting clear on how your clients talk about you and celebrate the work that they do with you. Are they sharing it with friends? Are they telling everybody in their list? You know, when you read a really good book and you're like, oh my God, all my friends need to know about this. I got to share this with everybody. This is freaking amazing. Or you find a content creator on Instagram or something and you're like, this is hilarious. And you send it in DMs to all your friends because you're like, everybody needs to know this. What does that energy feels like? What does that energy feel like when you're in that vibe of like, oh my God, everyone needs to know about this? Getting clear on how your clients do the same for you. Getting clear on how your clients feel when they make the investment. When they first take that leap into that value exchange with you? Do they feel buyer's remorse, or do they feel a sense of expansion? Do they feel confident? Do they trust themselves? Do they invest in themselves? Are they people that want to grow? This is the feminine side, the divine feminine, the intention of the feelings that we want our clients to experience in working with us. And also we should repeat this with ourselves. How do we want to feel when we work with clients? How do we want to feel when we receive payments? A lot of people receive payments with high ticket clients with ease, and they feel like, oh no, now I got to do even more work. Was there enough value here? Like, they immediately start to shunt off that receiving. They don't know how to receive, feeling safe, with ease. So you repeat this exercise, not just for your clients, but for yourself as well. The chemicals of the electrical current, what your clients experience, the electrical current that runs through them when they first encounter you, when they pay, when they're working with you, after they work with you, as they're celebrating working with you. And you repeat that for yourself as well. How you feel before they show up, how you feel when they show up with ease, how you feel that chemical magnetism, that electrical charge running through you when payments are received on time, how you feel when people are sharing you with their friends or writing testimonials and reviews unprompted. So you get really, really clear on this, and you create this alchemy within yourself. You create that electrical charge within yourself. And one of the easiest ways to do this is to assist yourself with the divine masculine of your actions, your words, and your behaviors. So if you desire clients that pay on time or that pay in full, you should mirror these behaviors in your own life. You should pay people on time. You should try to pay things in full if those are the kind of clients that you desire. If you desire clients that shout about you from the rooftops and share your work with the world, and they're just so excited for all their friends and peers to know, you should do the same. You should mirror this behavior in your own life. And talk about the people that have changed your life or created transformations for you. The books, the podcasts, it doesn't matter. It could be anything. Mirror that behavior with the divine masculine, and it really secures that feminine of the intention. It really creates that electrical charge, the energy, that magnetism. If you desire people that trust themselves and invest in themselves, you should mirror this behavior as well. So this is a snippet of a type of exercise that we're going to work with inside of Brand Alchemy, and how to begin to build upon the energetics to work at that level in your business, because that's where magnetism is created. It's not the aesthetics of your brand, the cohesiveness, how many times you're posting, how many followers you have. It's none of that. That's the surface level how. And so many entrepreneurs and business owners have been led astray believing that that is the secret sauce. Magnetism in nature, in science, in business starts with the energetics. It's created through electrical charges. And it starts with you, because your entire body is made up of atoms. And you also create electrical charges chemically. You're a conduit to create magnetism in your business, and you start to work at that level across how you show up in your business, what boundaries you set in place, what you're creating in your business. changing that dance that you have, that relationship with your business, is the first part to building this magnetism, because that is the huge value exchange, right, between you and your business. And that's really the sole function of your business, to expand those greens within yourself. You start to work at that level, then you have a business that fits you like a glove. It feels really good to show up and do what you do. It feels exciting. It feels expansive. It feels like flow. It feels like play. And that's the vibration you bring to the table to exchange with clients. And people are not going to know why they're attracted to you. They're like, this ad is really basic. There's nothing aesthetically pleasing about these pictures. This Instagram feed's a mess. She's not really posting consistently, but I don't know why. I just got to be in this person's world. That's what happens. Inside of Brand Alchemy, we're also going to talk about the energetics of the perfect soulmate clients and how to effortlessly attract those. So the magnetism of bringing those soulmate leads and clients into your business. And I shared with you guys one little exercise. There's so much more around this. We're going to talk about how to build affinity with sales. So you're not just talk, you're going to build affinity with sales. So we're going to go through a lot of exercises together. So if sales is a point of resistance for you where it feels icky, you're going to completely shift that. And a big part of that is changing how you view sales. Most of us, we see sales as transactions. I see sales as transformations. I'm so excited to sell to you guys, to share Brand Alchemy with you guys, because I know the transformations that will come on the other side for you is like 10 times what you're paying the value of. It's a massive transformation that's going to have a huge impact in this world, because it will impact everybody you work with as well. Not just you and your business, but everybody you and your business comes across. So for me, sales feels very in integrity. It feels easy for me to talk about what I do. But I also understand there's been many moments in my career where it's felt icky or gross. And that's what happens when you view sales as transactions. So we're going to make that shift where you get really in affinity with sales. So it feels like a really high integrity activity of your business, because you know the transformations. And you can't get there, by the way, until you get in that tango with your business. And you remove those conditions and you have those greens. You're alchemizing those greens within yourself, using your business to assist you. Because if you don't have that and you're treating your business as a vessel for money or as a vessel for time, then yes, sales will feel icky, because you know deep down it's out of integrity. You don't have the energy to bring to that value exchange. That's why a lot of you guys don't feel affinity with sales right now, because there's a lack of integrity in the value exchange. You're promising these greens to people that you have made conditional within yourself. And your core will usually cock block shit like that. So Brand Alchemy is a conversation that's going to be so much bigger than just how to make yourself attractive to prospects and leads and clients. It is a conversation about how to shift this huge relationship in your life so it feels so fulfilling and it is so expansive for you in such a way that there's so much value that you bring to that value exchange. It puts you in affinity with sales. It attracts soulmate clients into you effortlessly. You experience rapid growth, both in revenues, the engagement, the things that you're putting out. You get a lot of clarity around your creative direction, the pricing, these things that we get so stuck on, right? Should I price it here? Should I price it there? It's a huge, huge part of your life, and it will impact every dynamic of your life once you treat your business like a dance partner. and you begin to flow in that tango with it, you'll see every relationship, the one with your kids, the one with yourself, the one with your spouse, also benefit from getting in step in this way inside of your business. And so brand alchemy, I'm not really going to be showing you like the strategies, the how, like the conversation of lead generation is there's definitely going to be the divine masculine of embodiment for the feminine. We're going to have a lot of, because that is, you know, the energetics is both the feminine as well as the masculine. And but it's not going to be like launch this funnel and do this. We're not going to talk about that stuff, but I am going to take you behind the scenes as well of my own business. I'm going to show you the numbers. I'm going to show you how I structure things. I have a 7-figure business with Flow Protocols, 1 part-time BA. I have a lot of creative freedom in my business. I pivot very quickly in my business. I flow with it in the cycles of rest and recovery that I have. And I'm going to show you how that's all structured behind the scenes. Not so that you can mimic my business model or try to fit yourself in it, but rather just to inspire you to understand that there's different ways to do things. So we're also going to be looking at that. So this is starting October 23rd. And it's going to run for 8 weeks into the month of December because there is a lot to cover. There's a lot to cover in this conversation. And we're going to go through almost every facet of your business. And by the end of this, you're going to just have a very different relationship with your business. And that alone is going to shift how it attracts leads and clients, how you show up, how you're creating, how people find you. You're going to get to taste magnetism for yourself. That's why we're doing it over 8 weeks, because I want you guys to integrate and actually experience the results for yourself. And actually, you know, instead of like a 2-day workshop or a 3-week thing where you integrate and it might not show up right away, I want to be there, support you guys. I want you guys to actually taste it and be like, shit, okay. And to be in a community where you're seeing your peers succeeding with these concepts, which will foster even deeper trust and belief for you. It's one of the best ways for you to, you know, shift any sneaky beliefs that you might have. Will this work for me? I don't know if this is actually going to work. And you see your peers doing it. We're very social creatures. We normalize what the tribe normalizes. So you're going to be in a private support group over 8 weeks. We're going to have full discussion, practical exercises, obviously a lot of magic, a lot of conversations around the energetics for sure. And not only that, you're going to get access once you're in the group to all the past trainings that I ran over the last year. So that includes resonance rituals, which just wrapped up. We did a 30-day frequency currency ritual with resonance rituals, which is extremely powerful. Highly recommend. It will completely support this conversation and this experience that you have in brand alchemy. There's also playful millions in there. And so you'll have everything that you need to create this transformation within yourself. So for those of you guys who are interested in joining me in brand alchemy, I want you guys to comment magnetic below in the comments, and I will send you guys a link to join. The cost is $1,222. So $1,222. It's a tongue twister for a second. And it can be split into 3 payments. That price is going up in 4 days time. So this is the early bird price. The doors will close October 23rd. If you want to get in at this price, make sure that you comment below magnetic to join me inside of brand alchemy. There's a split payment option. And we start October 23rd. You're going to get put into the group. We'll have our calls together. You're going to really feel into these concepts and apply them and integrate them into your business. And it's going to radically shift the way that you create. This is how I show up in my business. Every day, instead of asking myself, instead of asking, how can I make money today? Or how can I get a new customer today in my business? I ask myself, how can I find flow in my business today? How can I honor myself in my business today? And oftentimes, what comes out of that doesn't make a lot of rational sense. It's like, well, I just want to, you know, create a ritual box or something that like is so off topic, has nothing to do with what I'm supposed to do, but I will honor it because my business is there to help me alchemize those greens. That's how I treat it. And it's never let me down. It's only when I go back into thinking and viewing it as a mechanism for money or a way to create transactions that I lose my step with it. And I'm so grateful for the type of business that I have today because it defies everything that I ever thought was possible. Everything that I subscribed to for many, many years in my entrepreneurial journey around hustle and the hard grind, and you got to do what you got to do, and make things like really, really pretty. It defies all of those things. A lot of the times, like last month when we did that frequency currency ritual, I couldn't even explain how the revenues came in. Most of the months, I'm like, I don't even know how this money came in. I can't explain it. Obviously, if I break it down in my Stripe, I'm like, I can see everything, but it just doesn't make sense based off the physical output that I'm putting into my business. Like, it doesn't add up. What people would say, like, you gotta put so much time and effort in order to equate this. Like, it doesn't match. There's minimal physical exertion, but the energy of which I show up with, it does all the work for me. And so it's a subtle shift, but it's been so, so powerful for me. And I'm so excited to share this with you guys because you guys are the change makers. You guys are the ones that are leading the way. You guys are the ones that are changing people's lives, creating transformation, right? You have a business that's selling things, selling energy. You're creating transformations for people. And when the business world begins to adapt to these concepts, it's a ripple effect that just changes everything. And that's what I'm really excited about. And if I wasn't, I wouldn't be fucking talking about this. If I was purely here to make transactions and enrollments and make money, it wouldn't work. It wouldn't work. And that's the shift that I want to help you guys to understand and to get on with in that dance, in that tango. So comment magnetic for those of you guys who want to join me inside of Brand Alchemy. Starts October 23rd. I will send you guys the link. $1,222. The price goes up in 4 days. There is a split payment option as well. 8-week immersion. So we'll go into mid-October. It'll be the perfect way for you to end this last quarter of the year and start the new year with like this zest, like really, really kick things off really, really powerfully. And I cannot wait to share your wins and experience these growths that you come to experience in being in this vibration together. It's going to be a vibe, that's for damn sure. And it's going to shift the way that you create. Obviously, if you're in the Coven, by the way, this is included. You don't have to pay for this. So this is free for Coven members. So thank you so much, everybody, for joining me on today's training. I hope you've had some moments that just like, yes, moments of clarity. I hope you have a few action steps that you're able to take away with you and try in your business, integrate, and see for yourself. If there were things that popped out for you, let me know in the comments. I love to read those as well. And I will be going live on October 23rd for the first session of Brand Alchemy, and I really hope to see you guys there and to help you get this magnetic field like built up around your business where people are just like, take my money. I don't know why. I just want to be in your vibe. But not only that, they're actually getting the fucking transformations. Like their wins are amplified. They're actually expanding their greens. It's not just like this transaction and then that's it. It's like you're changing people's lives, and this ripple affects how everybody else finds you and comes into your world. And it feels so good when you create at this level. It feels so fulfilling. And that relationship that is such an important relationship becomes one that just nurtures you. It feels safe. It feels playful. It feels good to show up in your business. It should feel fucking good to be in your business. It's a really big relationship in your life. If you didn't feel good in any other relationship of your life, you know you shouldn't be doing the same things. You should either pattern interrupt or get out, right? Change things. And this is no different. But so many of us have glorified hustle and sacrifice, and business is supposed to feel hard and difficult. And then we feel this across every aspect of our life. So let's get rid of that. That is just gross energy. Let's make this like a really safe, loving, exciting dynamic of your life. That's what this vibe is about. The greens you're expanding in brand alchemy is going to be confidence, magnetism, clarity, purpose, those delicious flow, so much fucking flow, so much fulfillment. Those are the greens you're going to get. So thank you so much, everybody, for joining me, and I hope to see you guys in brand alchemy. And if you've integrated some of these things, let me know in the chat. Keep me posted, share in this group. Thank you so much for joining me and for being a part of this community. I hope you have an amazing rest of your day that is filled with magic and love and purpose and play. And I'm sending you guys so much of that delicious vibration as well. See you guys. Bye. I don't even know how to end this live. Oh, I have to do it on my computer. I thought I was on my phone. Okay, see you guys. Bye.